Everybody, it's Lori Bradley here in St. Louis, Missouri, and it is Sunday, October 5th, right? Yeah, October 5th, and we are here for 31 projects in 31 days. I don't typically do any work on Sunday like this, and so I'm trying to wrap my head around. After lunch, I told my husband, I was like, please remind me that I have a live at 2 o'clock because I don't normally work on Sunday. So, but it's 31 projects in 31 days. I have to today. Earlier this week, we used the Traditions of Christmas paper, which is very pretty. There was just one sheet that I wasn't super excited about, and I thought, game on. We are going to use this, and I'm going to challenge myself, and I'm going to use it. I used it, and that is what I'm going to use for my card today. I paired it with some other things. It's that one piece that I didn't care for. I'll show it to you in just a second. And I think I hit it pretty well. I think that I did my best to hide it, but it's not quite as crazy as it would have been if we just used the whole panel. So I dialed it back a notch. Before I forget, tomorrow, October 6th, there is a kit sale. So if you like those kits that you can just pick and like you can have the box and it's ready to make, those are going on sale tomorrow, the 6th through the 8th. And they are anywhere from probably 10 to 30% off. 30% off is the highest ones. We don't know the sale prices yet. It won't show up until tomorrow when the sale goes live. So be sure to check that out if you are a kit lover. I do happen to like those a lot, actually, because they are they're quite handy. And actually, there's a new Christmas kit that I want to use. So tomorrow, we might actually use one of the new Christmas kits because I think you'll like those, and then you can know whether you really want to buy one or not. So that will be tomorrow. I haven't determined my weekly schedule yet, so be sure to check back. I will post it so that you know every day what time I'm going to go live this week. All right, let's get going. I'm going to turn you around. All right, I didn't check the positioning before I started. All right, I think we're good. All right, so we talked about, whatever day that was, the Traditions of Christmas paper. It has pretty gold. We used it with the Secret C, so I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the paper, but there was one particular pattern. Let me grab these out of this package real quick. That I said, ooh, not my favorite. We have this one, and I always choose to use the gold side. If there's a metallic, I always choose the metallic side when I'm making my projects because it feels like kind of a waste if I just use the plaid, although I'm always a plaid girl too, but I try to use the piece that is the metallic side. But the one piece that I didn't care for was this one, and it's cherry cobbler in red with poinsettias. Sorry, I'm trying to get my computer set up here. All right, now we're good. With the poinsettias, and I was like, not my favorite, but I determined, yep, like I said, game on. We are going to use that one today. So that's my project for today. We are going to start with a cherry cobbler card base, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, just a standard half sheet of cardstock. I'm gonna fold that in half. All right, now I did some extra, what's the word I want? Extra paper saving when I made mine. I have, my designer series paper is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. When I had my strips, when I had these, this is actually 6 inches wide. This was just part of a package from my paper share. And so I cut it at 4. And then, so this one is actually 4 by 6. And I cut that down, and I was going to do 4 inches. And I was going to lay it on, that was going to be my next thing. This is actually 3 7/8. But then I decided, you probably know what I decided, it needs some extra gold, right? It needs a little extra sparkle. So I cut a gold piece at 4 inches. And I'm going to use the branching out dies, which cuts this really pretty shape that we can use for multiple things. And we've used this before. I used this for my Lunch with Lori class a couple of weeks ago. And so I decided I was going to use this, and I thought, oh, I should cut the middle out of my paper. And so then I thought, all right, I can glue this on. Perfect. So that's what I'm going to do. But I want to show you something first that I did. I got a little crazy and I thought, well, if I can cut one, which was this die. So these are all, they nest. They are the branching out dies. And I'll show you real quick. This is the project. They look like this. They nest together. They look like tickets is what they look like. All right. So then I thought, all right, well then maybe I should cut another one. I'm gonna put that in there. And then I thought, well, I mean, while I'm doing this, maybe I should go ahead. So then I cut one more. So then I cut with that one. I did every other. I didn't use the next size down because then that would show a little bit more than I wanted it to. And then I didn't use the next one. I did 4. Well, I did 3 plus my outside one because I thought, why not? The only piece that I'm going to use today is this piece and this piece. And then I have these 2 left for something else. So I can use these for another frame, and we will use these maybe later this week so I can show you what I did with that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue my panel, my 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 panel onto my gold. I didn't want a whole lot of gold like yesterday when we had our gold stuff. I didn't want it to be gaudy gold. I just wanted it to be subtle. So I'm going to put my glue right around the edge. I'm going to use the liquid, but I'm going to be, actually, you know what? I think the best route here, since we don't have a very big space and my paper's going to fit, I really think our best option is to put this onto our card front first. So that way we've got it in place and we don't have to worry about where we put down our paper, because otherwise glue is going to go in the middle. It's going to be stuck to my grid paper, and then everybody will laugh and it'll be just like usual, right? So we're going to go ahead and put this onto our card front. Make sure I can see. Okay, got that on there. That would be beautiful in and of itself, but we are going to go ahead and add, so now I'm going to add some more adhesive because then it'll stick to the inside of our card as well, or the inside of the die cut. All right, so that covers the holes we just cut. So even though we just have a gentle small rim around the outside, we've got it. Okay, I still think this is way too crazy, but if you can't do, gold and shiny at Christmas time, when can you do it, right? So we're gonna use this. All right, so here's the piece that's next. I have also cut the next size of the branching out, and that's gonna be where our sentiment's gonna go. So it's gonna cover that, covers that hole in the back. We still have plenty of space. And even if we wanted to go, put another one, which we're not, but we still have those extra. So I'm going to use the Merry Christmas stamp. Sometimes it's nice to have just a big focal point stamp set, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to stamp that in cherry cobbler. And then I realized that my cherry cobbler ink pad was almost a little dry. I don't have a refill, so I immediately went straight to my order system to put it in, because I'm going to place a kit order tomorrow, so I wanted to be sure I remembered. All right, so the Merry Christmas stamp is a single stamp. It's the only stamp in its case. It's the only one. And I'm gonna do this one a little bit different than my sample. Actually, let me go ahead and show you my sample. I was gonna hide it from you, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you. I did it with a gold bow on the side. I'm actually going to move my words down just a little bit, and I'm going to try the gold bow on the top just to see how that looks, just so it's a little bit different than my other one. And maybe I'll like the other one better, but that's what we're going with. So I'm going to move my words down to where they still look okay. There we go. All right, so we've got our Merry Christmas. Now, cover this. It's a very pretty stamp. It's simple. It could go classy. It can go cute. We can make a whole lot of things out of this. And then we're going to do the same thing with this. We're going to go ahead and put the adhesive here. The only difference with this one is that I'm going to put it on dimensionals. So I want to just put the adhesive right around the edge of this, of the smaller die cut. We can always add a little more if we need to, but since I'm going to put it on dimensionals, it's a little bit different. Just like that. I rub it from the back so I don't get sticky glue on my fingers. And then we'll put it on dimensionals. All right. Does anyone have any big Sunday afternoon plans? Sunday fun day? I have to clean up my kitchen. I know, that sounds super exciting, and I told myself I was waiting until after my Facebook Live this afternoon to do my kitchen. But it's pretty bad. I just need to put away some dishes that were drying, load the dishwasher, you know, all the things that I was not home yesterday to do. So hopefully you're doing something more fun than I am. All right, so I'm gonna put that right on the front. Just like that. All right, now I'm going, oh, a nap sounds amazing. We'll see how that works out for me, Lisa. I'll tell you later how that goes for me. All right. I have the gold striped mesh ribbon. It's very pretty. It's kind of a, what's the word? It's see-through. Oh my goodness, it's not nylon. I'm going to call it mesh. It's not really mesh. Yes, I am not, this red and gold, when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is going to be a challenge. And so I accepted the challenge, Michelle. I like the black and gold one too, actually. And I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a gold or a black and gold for Christmas, but I think it's really pretty. So I'm toning it down because now I can't see. We don't have to look at all that pattern. And I'm going to put a bow right in the middle. And I'm going to put that right on the top. So sometimes I look at things and I think, oh, I don't really like that. And then after I make something with it, I talk myself into thinking, well, it's not so bad. So I'm still thinking, I'm not sure about this, but I have used the piece of paper now that I thought I wouldn't. So I'm calling that a success because sometimes that's a hard thing for me. I choose the papers out of the package that I really like, and then it goes like that. So I'm going to attach my bow with just a simple glue dot. My package is getting low here. Put it on. I tried to get both my husband and my son to be guest stars today because they're both here. Neither one was interested. I don't know why. And so I think I'm going to take a poll. If you're interested, if you think it'd be fun to have Matt or Caden as a guest star, let me know. If other people say it, then it's way better than if I say it. All right, so I've got my bow in the middle, and then I'm going to use those Traditions of Christmas sequins that we used on our project the other day. And I mean, I'm golding this thing up. We are going to, we're going to use the sequins because like I said, if you can't bling up the Christmas time stuff, when can you do it, right? So let's put a couple of sequins on here. I'm going to use the smaller ones. I don't want it to be tacky. Let's do 2 there. Maybe 1 over here. All right, now one more step that I'm going to do. So there's the front. I'm going to add my white panel to the inside, but when I cut that 4x6 piece of paper down, I did cut it, like I said, to 3 7/8. But this 4-inch strip that's left right here, actually that is where it came off of, the 4-inch strip, I'm going to use that and I'm going to glue it down the edge of my white piece, my white panel for the inside. So I don't waste that it's a 3/4 by 4-inch strip. I'm not sure what else I might do with it, but I'm going to put it right down the edge of my white panel on the inside. And then we'll put that on the inside. And of course, you know, 3/4 of an inch of writing space, if you don't want to write very much, then that takes up a little bit of your space, right? So we'll just, and you can put that on either side, on either end, it doesn't matter. And then if you had a sentiment that you wanted to put on the inside, you could do that as well. But here it is. So I think I don't hate the paper. Well, thank you, Maureen. I think it's pretty too. It's just not my usual style. So this one I did a little bit smaller bow on the left, and this one I did the bow in the center. So do you have opinions? Let me know your opinions on what you think, which card that you prefer, or if you have no preference. Or if you just think that's the ugliest paper you've ever seen, or if it's a paper that you think, oh, it's actually not as bad as I thought, because that's kind of where I am right now. I was thinking it's not as bad as I thought. So anyway, there is project number 5 of 31, and I will see you all tomorrow. I will look at my calendar later, and I will post what time I'll be live tomorrow. I know it will not be in the evening tomorrow because I have a meeting here, but it will be, it'll either be morning or afternoon. I haven't done a morning yet, so during the week, so maybe we'll try a morning. We'll see. So thanks for watching. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your weekend.